Hey guys, yeah, I've got about 19 minutes to go before my bus arrives. It's Saturday, the day before Easter, and it was busy today. I'll talk about that later. But I wanted to come on here because, you know, like myself, many others have talked about this whole Satnam Singh debut on AEW Dynamite at the end of the main event between Samoa Joe and Manuo Suzuki. And, Joe won the title and then got attacked by the Satnam Singh guy while he was distracted by Jay Lethal and Sanjay Dutt. Well, one of the reasons that I talked about very briefly, and then others touched upon as well, more so, was this was done by AEW and Tony Khan as a means to make good with Discovery. Now, in case you guys don't know, Discovery Media last year paid over billions of dollars, I'll put it that way, paid over billions of dollars to purchase Warner Media, Warner Brothers as a whole, basically become the new bosses. And because of that buyout, the finalization has been taking time, months and everything. And recently, it has started to take shape. In other words, all the pieces have now started to fall into place. And Discovery is now more in control than they previously were when they first bought and purchased the WB. And now, the new title is Warner Brothers Discovery. That's what it is. And a lot of people are being switched out, moved around. A lot of the Discovery people are taking on more responsibility, and not just the departments that we're currently in charge of right now, but in other departments as far as like Warner Media and Warner Brothers is concerned. And because of that, certain things are going to be changing. Certain things are going to be changing. Is, some would say for the better. Some would say for the uncertain. And, it's a wait-and-see kind of situation. But the reason, as I briefly mentioned and others have briefly mentioned, that Satnam Singh was brought in into AEW, was given this main event spotlight, if you will, for his debut, the lights out treatment and everything, was mainly because of the fact that AEW, like I said, is trying to appease and make good. They're trying to appease and make good, if you will. I'm just checking something there. They're trying to appease and make good with the folks at Discovery. And one of the reasons they're doing that, making good, is because Discovery owns the network that they air their show on, their product on, in India, called Eurosports India. So Discovery Media has a stake in all this because they own the network in which AEW is a part of. They own the network. They own the network which AEW is a part of. And AEW, obviously realizing this, like I said, they want to make good with Discovery, and hope, to the point that they hope and believe that Discovery, now that they own Warner Brothers and Warner Media, won't decide to, as part of the ever-growing changing landscape now under their watch, won't decide, okay, after AEW's contract is up with Warner Media and the Turner Networks, we get them off. This move with the whole Satnam Singh deal, plays into that. Because Tony Khan overall knows a good spot that he's in, and he doesn't want to risk losing it. He doesn't want to risk He doesn't want to risk losing it. Even though they're bringing in good numbers, they're ranking in good numbers and everything. Merchandise sales are up and everything, all that. They are one of the most watched entities on Wednesdays and Friday nights. Tony Khan realizes that it won't matter to anybody, to any, owners of a major institution, corporation, if you will. Because if they feel like, hey, we just don't want you around anymore because you don't pique our interest or you don't fall in line with what we want to bring to the table, despite, the fact that you could be bringing in good numbers and merchandise sales and stuff could be up, they could, after your contract is up, say, good luck finding could open the door and say, good luck finding a new place to live. And again, Tony Khan doesn't want that to happen, which is why, he did what he did with Satnam Singh. Now, did Tony admit that it could have been done better? Absolutely. He did admit it could be done better, which is one thing a lot of people will give him credit for. The fact that he is willing to admit to his mistakes, unlike, let's say, Vince McMahon. Now, with all that said, is this a sign of things to come? With AEW, knowing that they want to expand their market, globally, globally, internationally. Is this a sign of things to come with All Elite Wrestling? Are they going to have to, at times when we least expect it, have to please the Discovery group? Are they going to have to, please the CEO of Warner Bros. Discovery? Are they going to have to please the new person in charge of Warner Media and the Turner Networks? Are they going to have to do all this, despite whatever they come up with may not fly with, the existing fan base? And truth is, they may have to. They may have to, especially, like I said, if Tony Khan, knows that, hey, he's got a good place right now on TBS with Dynamite. He's got a good place on TNT with Rampage and Battle of the Belts on a quarterly basis. Battle of the Belts, that is, quarterly basis. He doesn't want to risk losing that. He doesn't. So if he has to make decisions that may not be popular, in the eyes of a lot of folks, then he's going to make those decisions. He's going to make those decisions. And hopefully whatever decisions he makes again in the future will be the kind that will not upset anybody. They will be the kind that people will enjoy and all that. So, we'll have to see. But this is really nothing new. Honestly, to be honest with you folks, this is really nothing new when it comes to networks being in charge. And networks basically overall saying, hey, we want this to be a certain way, or we want that to be a certain way, or this doesn't fit in with what we vision or what we envision and stuff. So it's nothing new. I mean, a good example for me from a long time ago is Sonic Sat AM. Even though the show was pulling in decent numbers, even against Power Rangers in the second season, ABC, Disney didn't see it as part of the future. They didn't envision it as part of what they wanted to bring to the table. So it was, as the late Ben Hurst put it, prickle they down, new broom sweeps clean. It was taken off the slate. And when it comes to wrestling, the same thing applies. ECW was drawing in some great numbers with the Nashville network, the original TNN. And just because Paul Heyman dared him on a whim, opened his big mouth, he said, take us off the air. Guess what they did? Despite all the, the viewership they were getting and all that, the merchandise sales and stuff they were getting for TNN and all that, TNN called his bluff, pulled and yanked them off the air. That's what they did. He yanked them off the air. And And it was a surprise. But again, Paul Heyman opened his big mouth. And then when you look at WCW, even though they were bringing in massive numbers and all that for Turner, where ironically AEW is right now, after the AOL merger, the Time Warner AOL merger, the new people there said, nope, it doesn't fit with what we want to bring to the table, so, we're done with it. It's not what we want, so we're done with it. And they got rid of it. So again, it's nothing new. Honestly, it's not really anything new when it comes to this. But hopefully, what Eric Bischoff has said, about the situation, since they're more independent and everything, that AEW won't have to worry about that. But we'll see what happens. But let me know what your thoughts are. Do you think there will be more of this in the near future? Comment below, live chat during the premiere, super chat if you like, and I will talk to you all later.